Hello, Promise Talking Faith Walkers. Welcome to our first episode of Tell Us About It Tuesday, where we are glorifying God by sharing the good works of his people. Tonight we have with us Lisa L. Youmans. Lisa is the owner of Purpose and Prosperity Incorporated, a life and business coaching boutique where she works with women and men who are ready to level up in their life and business. She shows you how to gain clarity, master your mindset, walk by faith and confidence so that you can live a life of purpose and prosperity. She also shows you how to package your purpose to generate profit. And she's the founder of Kingdom 316 Ministry. Let's give her a great big Tell Us About It Tuesday welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Lisa, welcome to Tell Us About It Tuesday.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. I'm so glad to be here this evening.
Okay, let's make sure we are live on Facebook. There we go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start out with what I am calling. We are live on Facebook. Okay, we're going to get this right. So we're going to start out with what I'm calling What's the What? And these are just 5 little questions to kind of break the ice, to get to know Lisa on a different level until we get into the interview. So here we go. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Your favorite number?
5.
Your favorite word?
Girl.
Girl. G-I-R-L or G-U-R-L?
G-U-R-L-R-R-R-L.
Your favorite food?
Fish.
And your favorite Bible verse?
Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths.
Yes, I love that verse because it's something that we can all use at any given time, every day. So we're going to go ahead and get into our interview part. So Lisa, what motivated you to become a life and business coach?
Especially dealing with the life side of life and business coaching. Just the things that I went through, the different struggles I went through, the different setbacks and things that I experienced while I was going through those things. And once I made up in my mind to do something different, I just had a desire to be able to help other people and not wanting to see other people in those positions, not wanting to see other people not being able to move forward or struggling in areas that they don't have to struggle in, that you just need some guidance and some information to get you to the next place. And then more importantly, because when I did make up my mind that I was going to change my life and do better in life and really go after what I wanted in life, I really didn't have someone there for me, someone there personally beside me, walking me through it, talking me through the different things, knowing that I could actually go to. My coaching or my information came from reading books, audios, YouTube, just doing my research. So I wanted to make the process easier for someone else, because it's nothing like coming out of the struggle and then you find yourself struggling to still get to the place that you want, because you like the wisdom and the knowledge and the information that you need.
Okay, do you mind sharing some of those struggles with us, just in case there's someone listening that may have gone through or may be going through some of the things that you experienced?
Yes, absolutely. I will first say that once I made up my mind that things was going to change in my life, my root problem was the way I was thinking, and I deal with that heavily in my coaching, in my life coaching side of things. Some of the struggles I had was job loss, multiple evictions, homeless shelters. As a matter of fact, 3 times, twice in the same homeless shelter. Just being in the homeless situations. And I actually put this in my book that over a 18 time frame, I had lived in 15 different places.
Oh,
I would
wow.
say that was the biggest struggle for me, not being able to be in a place where I was stable, not just in my finances, but in my life in general, and going from place to place. And when I did get the means to live on my own or be independent for a while, because of my mindset, I found myself back in those places, the places I didn't want to be. And going through that, the struggle of homelessness, which was like the greater part of my life, to be perfectly honest with you, my adult life. I used to count or recollect what was going on in my life by where I was staying. So that's how I dictated or remember the years in my life, like whose house I was living in at this time. And that's how my life was. And moving forward, that was one of the things that I had to stop recounting those things in the past. So it was dealing with the homelessness, the poverty, lack. And then when I went, because I was going through the homelessness, because I had so many setbacks, then I had to deal with my mind on not looking at myself as being defeated and a failure in life, because that actually prolonged the process for me.
Okay, so you mentioned that you had to stop recounting or recollecting on those different areas that you had been in the past that was holding you back. How do you reconcile that with I once was here, but now I'm here, and how do you use that in your coaching business, or do you even use those personal details in your coaching business to help other people?
I do use the details in my coaching business to help other people, and that's specific to the person that I'm dealing with. I share my experience according to how, whatever it is that they need. And how I reconcile that, I actually didn't do that on my own. It was actually God, because I had a list, and I still got the list. In 2001, I was here. In 2002, I was here. In 2005, I was here. And it was even some years where I was in 2 or 3 different places. And I had the numbers down, like 10 years. I lived in 11 different places. I was just going on and on and on. And that's how I was remembering things that I should not have been doing it in that way. And I remember the day that God spoke to me. I remember where I was living. At that time, I had my own place. And God said to me, because I think I was like, it's been 10 years. I done lived in 11 different places, and 2 times I was in the homeless shelter, and I'm just going on and on. And God said to me, it would take one move of God to use one person to change my life forever. So his one was greater than all the numbers that I had on my paper altogether. So that just kind of put that to the side for me, that it only take God one move to use one person, and it would change my life forever. And that really happened in my life.
All right. So what I'm thinking about now is Romans 8:28, where it says that, and we know that God works all things together for our good because we love him and we are called according to our purpose. So before we move any further, I just want to encourage anyone who's listening that even though you may have gone through some things, don't give up, because God can use those things to propel you to wherever he wants you to be.
Exactly.
And so in your life and business coaching, do you approach those differently, or is it all like a one package deal?
There is a difference. However, I believe that how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Okay.
So how you show up in life is really how you show up in your business, and how you show up in anything else that you're going after. So the more weight and the more emphasis is on the life coaching. So there's a difference in the way that I approach it, because if I teach you and show you how to build a business and how to move forward in your business, and you still have issues in your life that you're going through that you haven't dealt with, a mindset that's defeated and still poverty, scarcity, you're not going to get very far in your business. You're not going to enjoy the journey, and you may move forward, but it's not going to be at the rate that you should be moving forward. So
Okay.
for me, it's life first and then business second. Now, if someone wanted to work on just building the business, that's what I would do if that's what they came to me for.
Okay.
However, some life wisdom and tips may come into that, because the saying is true: how you do one thing is how you do everything, and wherever you go, there you are. So if you step out of your personal life into your business office, you still the same person
You're still the same person.
regardless.
Okay. Well, wherever you go, there you are. You are the common denominator. Okay, so Purpose and Prosperity Incorporated is a coaching, you describe it as a coaching boutique. Does that mean you get to pick and choose what services you want, or how much or how little coaching you want, or do you have set packages that people get to choose from?
I do have set packages that people get to choose from. However, the packages are customized specific to the individual that's coming into a particular coaching program or anything like that. And I use the word boutique. I use the coaching, the business boutique. It really focuses on quality over quantity. So there's not a whole lot of services that I'm going to offer, but the services that I offer are really going to give you the experience that you really need to move forward in life. And it's going to be full of quality over you having a whole array of things to pick from. And it's just like when you think of a boutique, a clothing boutique, you know, you have specialty things in there for certain people. Not everyone is going to go. You
Okay.
are going to spend what you pay for. You're gonna spend money, but you're gonna get what you pay for. So that's
Okay.
kind of where I'm at with my coaching business. So, and this to offer premium services to my clients.
Okay, I like that. Premium services. Quality
Yes.
over quantity. So you just celebrated your 2-year anniversary of your book, What's Cramping Your Lifestyle. I have the book
Yes, I
and the
did.
workbook. So you tell us what motivated you to write this book.
What motivated me to write What's Cramping Your Lifestyle? Basically life. Basically life, the things I had went through. And when I think about things that other people go through, I wanted to kind of give a blueprint or a layout how to get through certain things in life and how I overcame certain things in life, and just really give them the tools that I use for myself to move forward in life. And I got the name What's Cramping Your Lifestyle from the concept of you're cramping my style. You know, when people say you're
Okay.
cramping my style,
Yeah.
that means like you're hindering me, you're trying to stop my flow.
You make
And
it
in
look
this
bad.
though, yeah. So you can ask yourself, what's these things in your life that's hindering you? What are those things that are stopping your flow? What are those things that are stopping you from moving forward? So in the book, I start with the mindset in the first section of the book. And then by the end of the book, you're knowing how to put things in action and implementing different things. And I like to call it coaching in the book, life coaching in the book. You know, if you're in a place and you can afford an actual life coach, if you're not there that you're going to have to pay the price that the that's being offered to you, I think this is a good What's Cramping Your Lifestyle is really life coaching in the book when you pair it with the workbook, because the workbook goes back and it asks you these detailed questions that really make you reflect on life and make you reflect on what you read in each chapter. It has a different chapter matches a chapter in the workbook. And I also created that workbook because for me, there were times when I got the information, but I didn't do anything with it because I didn't know how to implement this information in my life. So I created that workbook so it makes it easy. The information you take in, you're then able to go break that information down and you're able to implement. I mean, literally implement. You have to write in the workbook. You have to fill out a plan. You have to set goals in the workbook. You know, you have to set some actions. You go through your purpose. You write your vision in there. So yeah, I really did forget your question, but yeah, that's it.
So why did you write the book? No, that sounds
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so,
that's why I wrote it.
so I had the privilege and the honor of helping to edit the book, and I also purchased the book. And one of the things that I had never heard of before that you talked about was the different types of mindset, the poverty scarcity mindset and the abundance prosperity mindset. And I was like, wow, I lived in this place for so long and I had to get over to this place. So how did you come up with that? Or is that something that you learned from someone else about those different types of mindset? Because the way you put it in the book is just so easy to understand and relatable.
Yes, that information dealing with the mindset, those are teachings that one of my biggest teachers is Dr. Caroline Lease. She's actually a Christian scientist, and she deals with neuroscience and the mind and connecting the mind with the spirit and everything connected to God. So I really did get a lot of my teachings from her, along with some other people, just in basic reading. Like I said, when I started out on my journey, I had to do the work. There was one really to help me. I had to get out there and do the work and find the information. And those are some things that I came across when it came to the mindset. So I deal a lot with the mindset. I love dealing with the mindset and talking about the difference, poverty, scarcity, lack mentality, as opposed to the abundance, prosperity. So yeah, that was some information that I picked up along the way as I was trying to get out of the place I was at to the place I wanted to be in life.
Okay. Do you plan to write more books? I know this.
Yes, I do plan on writing more books. I wouldn't just say another book, but right now I have a goal to write my second book by my birthday, which is July 3rd. So I think I got like a month. I think I can do it. I know I can because I wrote What's Cramping Your Lifestyle in 28 days.
Okay.
So yes. So in that book is really going to deal with your mind. It's going to be based heavily on your mind, the words that you allow to come out of your mouth, and your actions. I call it your mind, mouth, and movement.
Okay.
So that's the next book, and the title of my book is going to be Think Up, Speak Up, and Act Up, meaning level up in your speaking, your thinking, and your actions.
Okay, so you said it took you only 28 days to write What's Cramping Your Lifestyle. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process? Because 28 days seemed like that was like such a short period of time to write a whole book.
Okay, it took me 28 days to write something that I should have written maybe 2 or 3 years before I wrote it.
Okay.
And I will say this to the process. Some of the things that I put in the book was content I already had.
Okay.
Content that I already had through a blog I used to do, or content already had through different teachings I used to do on live broadcasts. So I wouldn't say a lot of it. Almost half of what is in that book already had those things. I have a chapter in there, I think it's called Overcoming Failure. Mm-hmm. That whole chapter was an ebook that I had wrote probably 2 years before I put it in this book.
Oh, wow.
So I already had some of the material, but what I did, and because I had the time to do it, I would write every day, all day. And that's all I focused on, because I didn't take any breaks. That book came at a time where, because of course you're my sister, so my health situation that I've been dealing with since 2016. And when I was told that I had to quarantine, and everybody complaining about quarantine, but I've been living like this for a minute.
Yeah.
That's what I did when I had to isolate myself. When I had to isolate myself because of an issue with my immune system, that's what I did. I had the time, and I said, I'm going to write the book.
Amen.
Because during that time I couldn't do a whole lot, but that's what I did.
Okay, so for those of you out there during this COVID-19 sheltering in place, go back, look through all your notes that you done took since you started going to church, look through all your journals, and ask God to show you where that book had in there so you can go ahead and get it out there and help the people of God. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some more about your life coaching business. What advice will you give to someone who desires to be a life coach?
My number one advice is, and it's probably going to come in the form of a statement. We've heard the statement that the greatest project you can ever work on is yourself. Period.
Okay.
So make sure you on point, make sure you got it together, make sure you have things in order. I'm not going to say everything in order because no one is perfect. And I believe in life that we're always making progress in life through the process of life, but make sure that in the process of life that you're making the progress that you need to make, and you're dealing with the things that you need to deal with. Because when we look at people that work in the areas of healing and helping other people, and those are the people really with most problems.
Oh,
and
wow.
You helping someone, it does not hide your problem because you know you have the problem. So I would say work on you first.
Okay.
And make sure that if this is what you want to do, that you have a passion to do it, that you have a passion to see other people progress and move forward, and not just a passion for the dollar. You really do have a passion for their deliverance, their healing, their betterment, their empowerment, the impact that you're trying to make on their life, that you really have a passion for that. And if you're going to be a life coach, you have to be a people person, you know?
Okay.
So you can't be that person, be talking about how small your circle is, and you don't, okay, I can't say that, but you don't mess with them people over there.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be that person if you are helping other people. And you have to be able to, like, what I do is what I do.
Okay.
And I do it, it's like second nature, you know. So what I do with helping people and lifting up people and pushing people forward, I do that on a daily basis in my conversations with people. So it's just a part of what I do.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that if someone coming into coaching, that's not where they are, but the biggest thing is make sure that you're working on you. And when you see things in your life that are not on point, you get your life together before you try to go out and help someone else. And I'm not saying we're all going to go through some things, but don't go through some things and don't deal with the things that you're going through. And I just say this: I was in a relationship, wasn't a good relationship. And one of the reasons I left the relationship because of my position as a person, as a life coach, as someone that's going to bring healing and deliverance to someone else. Because it's one thing if you were connected with someone and y'all just going through life, you know, it's just life. But it's another thing when you see this is not going to change, the person is not going to change, and you in this situation and you're trying to tell people to do better, but you're not doing better yourself. So you have to always be in a place where you're willing to check yourself and be checked, because you can't just be out willy-nilly helping people in your life real jacked up and you ain't trying to do nothing about it.
Okay, that makes complete sense. Now, what advice would you give someone? There's a person that's already actively pursuing a life coaching business, but they've gotten stuck or things just don't seem to be working out the way that they think that they should be working out. What advice would you give that person?
You mean working out on the business side of things?
On the business side of it. Like you're not getting the clients aren't coming in, or either people are not, you're just stuck. You don't know what your next step is in pursuing clients.
Okay. First, know that what you're doing, that this is for you to do.
Okay.
I mean, be convinced at all times that this is what I want to do, because there are going to be some times when there's discouragement, when things are not looking the way you want it to look, when the clients are not coming, the money is not coming, you just don't have any idea on what to do next. And that's in any business really, or anything we set out to do. But know that, be convinced that this is for you, and know that also that just because you don't know how to do something, it doesn't mean that it's not for you again. Because I know for me, I really didn't know the business side of coaching.
Okay.
However, I knew that coaching was for me. So I had to settle in my mind that even though I don't know the business side of it, I'm going to keep moving forward. And you connect with a business coach. You get a business coach, you get a mentor, you get someone to help you, you get on somebody's live, you know, because there are people that give really good content, but at some point you really are going to have to invest if you want to know the deep details of how people are making money and setting things up.
And by invest, you mean
really
financially? I'm sorry. By invest, you mean financially invest into people, like pay for their services?
Financially invest to people for their services.
Okay.
Financially invest to get someone else's intellectual property and to get someone else's wisdom. Because when people come on lives or when people give free stuff away, there's only so much you're going to get.
Okay.
That's just business. Not unless somebody's really giving away a free masterclass or a free teaching on something, and this is what they do. You know, people do that from time to time. You just have to find the person that's for you. And another thing I did in the beginning of my business, which I really wish I didn't do, but hindsight is 2020. Every free thing ain't the thing for you to be doing. You know, because sometimes you can take in all this free information because you're kind of desperate to get to get the wheels moving on your business, and sometimes it's just not the right information. Not saying that the information is incorrect. It may not be the right information for you, and find the person that you can receive from. There are a lot of great people out here teaching business, but for me, they're not my people. A lot of those people are not my people. So I stick with the people that I can receive my information from. But you are going to get to a point where you're going to need someone else to help you, to show you, because we don't know what we don't know. And sometimes we don't ask the right questions because we don't know what the right question is to ask. So you're going to have to connect with someone at some point in your business, just like life. Nothing's different. You're going to really have to connect with someone to be able to move forward. But first and foremost, know that what you're doing, be convinced within yourself that this is for you.
And I can see how your favorite scripture comes into play in that Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, when you acknowledge God in all your ways, he will direct your path. So he will really show you those right people to connect to if you're open to receiving that. Okay.
Yes.
So you also are the founder of Kingdom 316 Ministry. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So Kingdom 316 Ministry, we're really based online at this particular point. You know, with everything going on, that's kind of like the only place that we can be. So the purpose of Kingdom 316 Ministry is to teach kingdom principles, to reach the lost, to build people up, and to also build and fund kingdom projects. And right now, biggest thing that I have going on right now really is I do it every Thursday. I do a weekly Bible study, which I did take a break from, but it's going to start again next Thursday at 7:00 p.m. And it's really teaching kingdom principles as opposed to pushing religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure you let us know about that. God's promises are for me, and I'll make sure that I will help you get the word out about that also. So God's promises are for me. We have a show called Promise Friday where we explore promises from the Bible. What role does your faith, or did your faith in God take in your journey to get to where you are today and where you desire to be in the future?
Oh, it's the most major role. It's like the center of everything that I do. You know, in business, one of the areas that I talk about is faith.
Okay.
When I'm dealing with mindset, I don't talk about the mindset. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers, our soul, which is our mind, with our will and our emotions. So it plays a huge part when I deal with purpose. I
Okay.
believe God created us for a purpose, and there's a vision attached to the purpose. And I like to talk about purpose and prosperity. I believe that God wants us to prosper. So everything I do is based on God, even if I'm not coming from a Bible study format, or I'm not preaching preaching with the information that I'm giving out. Or if I don't mention God, it's everything I do is from a faith standpoint, from a kingdom standpoint, from a God perspective. So it has a lot to do with what I do. And me being guided in my business by God, which is something that I have to practice daily. And in business, and know that God is really the owner of my business. I'm partnering with God for my business, and I don't look at my business different than I look at my ministry, because to me, what I do, helping people, that is ministry, that is building the kingdom still. So it's like everything I do is based on what God would have me to do. This business is just a platform, and business is just the assignment to reach people.
Okay, that's some good stuff. And I just want to say, I watch your lives, I watch your broadcasts, I've read your books, I've actually been a part of some of your coaching services, and I do see where God is in the midst of all of that. Even if you, like you said, even if you aren't saying God, you are using the scriptures in those things. So that is really refreshing, especially when you come from some of those dark places. So as we're getting ready to wrap up here, who are two people that has been most influential in your life?
I would say my grandmother. Well, one of my grandmothers. I wouldn't say not both of them, but for the one, she raised us. Okay, so the one thing that, even when I was going through all of the dealing with the homeless situations and not really having what I wanted, one thing that really pushed me forward was when I think about the fact that she had 10 children of her own, living children that she raised. She raised probably half of them people's kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, up until the day she died, she was starting on the great grands. Okay. And so, and just how, she got sick, so she had to stop working with the, later the cancer came back, but with the seizures, she had to stop working. And how before she passed away, she was able to leave an inheritance for her children's children.
Yes.
She was able to have her own home, and not just a home, but the land too, the property too. That before she passed away, and to see how we live with public assistance and 50 people in the house. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying.
I was there.
And how she, and that had to be something that was her dream that she wanted to do. That I want to own my own. I want to be able to leave something for my children. And going through all the years, seeing the struggle, and when she left something like a legacy. She left legacy. She left, I'm trying to think of a word, but something we can look back on. An inheritance, a memorial, so to speak, that you can look back on. So for me, because I know going to college and different things like that, you have more education. I know being a single person, never had children or a husband, but God, he's sending it. I believe, right? And so, and so for me, it was like, there's no excuse. So at all times I thought of that, and that just kept me moving forward. And another thing I did, and I still do on my birthdays, like when this birthday come, I'm going to do it. I'll be 47. So I think about when she was 47 and the age I was when she was 47, and how her life was dedicated to some life. So I know she didn't get to do the things in life that she desired to do, because people don't just desire to have children and raise their children, and the great grandkids, the nieces and the nephews. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how we're built. And God put purpose in us. He put all of those things in us, and how she couldn't go forth in those things because of the things that she sacrificed that for. Thank God for that. However, when I look at that every year, it's like, okay, you got to do more. It's just me. It's me. I don't have to cook if I don't want to. I don't, I don't have anyone to take care of. I don't have anything stopping me. I don't have a man saying you can't do that, and that ain't gonna be the man I have. Just putting it out there, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the most influential people. And another person, let me see. It's so many. Oh, I will say Dr. Miles Monroe. We know he passed away, I think in November 2011. He's one that come to mind, somebody I still listen to. He talks heavily about the kingdom of God. He talks heavily about purpose. I've never actually shook his hand, but I've been in the same room with him a few times. I just love how he teaches. And when I go back and look at the things that he did, that people are still living off of the information that was placed on the inside of him, and how he left that in the earth for us. So even though he's not here, the words are still here. And I just thought about something when I was listening to someone today. They actually passed away, but the wife, she put this video up, and he was giving information, and I'm like, I received that because I need this. And when I was listening to him speaking, I was thinking, this man is no longer on this earth, but we still hear the words that are coming out his mouth. And the thought that came to my mind was that the Spirit is speaking, not necessarily the Holy Spirit, even though the Holy Spirit was using him, but we are spiritual beings. So his Spirit was speaking. So that's why all of these things can be left in the earth, because it's a spiritual thing and it's not a fleshly human thing. The things that we speak out of our mouths, and the thoughts that come into our mind, those are spiritual things. And I don't think people understand that. So with Dr. Miles Monroe, he left a spiritual inheritance for us to still live on and still build upon.
Yes. Okay, that's great. And what is one thing, this is going to be the last question, what is the one thing you want everyone to know?
I want everyone to know that we were all created for a purpose.
Yes.
That we were all created for a purpose. I wouldn't ever try to push my faith or my belief on anyone. But I just, if you don't believe in God, he created you anyway. I mean, it's just no way around it. And we were all created. However you believe you got here, you are here for a purpose. However you believe, however you want to look at it, however you believe you got here, there's a reason for you being here. There's a reason for you being here. The proof is in the dreams that you have, the desires that you have, those ideas and thoughts that come into your mind. All of those things are attached to the purpose that you are in life. And sometimes people say that I don't know my purpose, but I think within us, on the spiritual side of things, we know what it is. But then because we're taught different things in life, and because we're taught how to fear, we're taught how to live poor, we're taught these different things, we're taught how to shut up and not be seen and not do what we desire to do, we kind of stifle and bury those things on the inside, but they're still on the inside of us. So that's an indication that there is purpose in you. When you have a dream, it's just not out there for a reason. It's connected to something. It's connected to something that you are supposed to do in the earth to move yourself forward and to move other people forward. My next thing I want to leave is prosperity. I believe that we are all supposed to prosper. Going back to God, God is a God of abundance. He's the creator of the universe. He's the creator of heaven and earth. When you read his word, he tells us that we're supposed to dominate. We're supposed to be the head and not the tail. What he blessed the work of our hands. He give us the ability to get wealth. So we are supposed to prosper. And just because you don't know how to prosper, it doesn't mean that it's not there for you. It's available to you. You just have to put yourself in a position where you're able to access the things so that you can prosper in life. And when I talk about prosperity, I'm not just referring to money or financial things or material things. In every area of our lives, we are supposed to prosper. If you are married, you're supposed to be prospering. If you're a single person, you prosper in your singleness, you prosper in your marriage, you prosper where your children are concerned. When you go on a job, you are supposed to prosper in your job, in your business, whatever you set out to do, you are supposed to prosper. You just have to believe that there's a purpose for you and that prosperity is available for you. You just have to put yourself in a place where you can access the things that you're going to need to access to get your purpose fulfilled and the things you're going to need to access to walk in prosperity. One thought that I always have is that I want to eradicate poverty by eradicating and breaking down the poverty mindset.
Yes. Because
it's too much, and we listen to T-Year all the time.
Yes.
One thing that he says is that, and I believe this, everybody has $1 million inside of them. You have something inside of you that's going to generate the wealth that you desire. It's going to generate the wealth, and I'm talking about wealth in a financial sense now, that's going to generate the wealth that you see other people with. It's on the inside of you. It only takes an idea to make you $1 million. And one time I had to look at all the things on my list and say, you should be a millionaire by now. With all the things you know how to do, and come on, it's crazy. We starve ourselves because we're not willing to get up and eat and feed from the things that God has placed on the inside of us so that we can move forward in life. When we starve and when we thirst, it's our fault. It's because everybody got something, and you don't have to have 10 things. You only need one. You only need one. God bless you if you do have all of those other things, but you only need one. And if you want to not starve, if you want to not struggle, if you want to not live in lack, you got to get up and do something with the thing on the inside of you, regardless of how small it may seem to you. You got to get up and do something with what's on the inside of you. When we look at the Bible with the lady, they was coming to take her sons and she just had the oil. Oil could be a small thing to some people, but she paid off all her debt and had overflow. So what's on the inside of you will help you not only get out of the situation you in, but you will have overflow. And I talked about it today, just enough. What's that? I want abundance. I want more than enough. I want what I want in life. I want who in my life, who I want in my life. You know what I'm saying? And we can have those things. We just have to believe that we can have those things.
Amen.
And until you believe it, you're not going to have those things in your life because you're not opening yourself up to the possibility of those things even being attracted to you in your life.
Amen. All right, Promise Talking Faith Walkers, there you have it, straight from Lisa L. Youmans herself. If you would like to find out more information about Lisa and her products and services, please see her information in the description box. And join us here Friday at 10 a.m. as we explore another promise from the Word of God. And next Tuesday, we will be right back here with Assistant Pastor Janie Ford. Thank you for joining and have a great night. God bless you all. All right, thank you, Lisa.